Today, September 11th, is Jade's 16th birthday. Find out how she's spending it, just like she has in every other year, patriotically.
Texas hosts the third Democratic debate tonight. It will be the first time all candidates are on the stage at the same time. I'm Natalie Brandon, Houston, with what to watch for.
6:31 on this Thursday. Chet Lehman, Missy O'Malley with you. Matt has our forecast peeking into a nice warm weekend.
Fabulous.
I don't want to give it all away, but he'll come here with the rest of it. Meantime, our top story this half hour, Jade Simpson was only 4 years old when she first started to realize that people seemed to be sad on her birthday.
Her birthday is 9/11, one of the most tragic days in American history. But ever since she was a toddler, she wanted to help. MTN's Cody Boyer has her story.
Her heart is showing exactly how big her heart really is.
Since she was a little girl, Jade knew something wasn't quite right with the numbers 9/11, except that it was her birthday.
I think I was like 4. I was watching the news when I was eating breakfast, and I saw this thing on the news about handing out a dozen roses.
It was a small way for a small person to help, Jade thought. The idea grew.
I started with doing little fundraisers at my own parties with like food drives or any like clothes.
When she was 8, the idea grew more. Jade and her family discovered packages from home.
I just fell in love with the group that I was working with, and it meant so much because I have so many family and friends in the military.
Instead of presents, Jade sends boxes herself, alongside her family and other volunteers. Her little sister even got involved, sending bones from home for enlisted dogs.
It's such a tragic day for people. I feel like if I can do something to make it a little better, even if it's like people don't know what I'm doing, some people do.
We heard about Jade through her uncle Chris from Belgrade, a title he is proud to hold, watching his niece's mission grow with her.
Jade's been raised right. She's, doesn't care about just herself. You don't see that much anymore with teenagers and stuff, especially.
It really hit me like, wow, like I really come this far.
This is Jade's 12th year in a row, helping the men and women fighting for our country. With a goal this year of $1,600, it's a step forward. But with every box, Jade hopes her mission will make even more of a difference.
Knowing that I'm like doing something to honor those people, even though it's been so long ago, I just feel really good about it.
In Belgrade, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
Wow, what a bright young woman. Now you can find all the information how to help Jade out on our websites.
Love
Very
that.
Cool.
Yes. Good stuff.
Very cool.
Keep up the good work, Jade.
Yeah,
there you go.
No doubt about it. That's really neat.
I like it.
Yeah. And I
get to help everybody out.
Yeah.
Yes, you do, Matt.
I like the warm-up that
We do have a warm-up, but it is chilly this morning.
Yeah.
We've got 30s out in Butte, mid-30s, even 35 degrees there. 41 in West Yellowstone. Congratulations to West Yellowstone for not being the coldest on the map this morning.
Not even close, actually.
Oh, not. It's a walk-off home run, basically. Skies are pretty clear for most of us. It looks like our daytime temperatures back into the mid-60s. It is going to be a bit warmer. It'll feel very nice outside. I'm sure the jackets will come off for the afternoon for the kids. But we do have some warmer weather on the way for the weekend as well. We'll talk about that, of course, coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. 6:34 now on this Thursday. The man accused of being the mastermind behind a string of stolen bicycles was back in court yesterday.
An outburst caused by Joseph Peary cut his first arraignment short. On Wednesday morning, Peary was charged with 2 counts of theft after Bozeman City police say he stole at least 2 bikes from across the area. On Tuesday, when he was about to hear his charges, Peary flipped the table and stormed out of the room yelling obscenities at that judge. Prosecutor says Peary has many crimes elsewhere with convictions in at least 10 different states.
Felony possession of cocaine, 2004, resisting arrest, battery, a couple different convictions for driving under the influence, battery, domestic violence, breach of the peace, 3rd-degree battery. It appears that he may have an active warrant, potentially out of Florida.
By the way, Peary's bail set at $45,000.
And the third Democratic debate is tonight. 10 candidates will square off in Houston, Texas. 7 others failed to qualify, meaning all those big names will finally be on the stage at that same time.
Healthcare is once again expected to be the main topic, but the location of tonight's event may help guide the conversation elsewhere. CBS's Natalie Brand is in Houston with a preview of tonight's debate.
10 Democratic candidates will square off in the Lone Star State tonight.
Hello, Houston!
Texas Southern University in Houston hosts the third debate. It's the first one confined to a single night.
We at least know, looking at that stage, that the nominee will emerge from that group.
TSU is a historically black university. Dr. Michael O. Adams, chair of the political science department, says that will help shape tonight's debate.
You have to talk about social justice. You have to talk about criminal justice reform. These are things that really resonate and impact on this community.
Also expected to be front and center, gun violence. More than 24 people were killed in 2 separate mass shootings in Texas this summer.
We need to have actual action and an actual plan.
These TSU debate students want to see candidates do more than offer just catchy sound bites.
We don't need somebody that's just, faking the funk or, being all the smile and the waves. We want somebody that's direct.
People can see when candidates are deflecting the questions, and that has happened a lot.
Also a debate first tonight, Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren will face each other. The former vice president frontrunner will stand next to Senator Warren, who's gaining ground in the polls.
I see this as a chance to talk about why I'm in the race, and I assume that's what all the other Democrats are going to do too.
Texas hasn't voted for a Democrat since 1976. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Houston.
Natalie also tells us President Trump says, quote, there's a chance, end quote, that he'll watch tonight's debate.
Look at that.
There's a chance.
And now 6 finalists have been selected in the Bozeman Symphony's search for a new music director.
MTN's Gabby Crevitt has the latest details.
The search for a new music director began after the Bozeman Symphony conductor, Matthew Savory, resigned in February of this year. Savory resigned after working for the symphony for 25 years amid bullying and sexual harassment allegations. The search for a new music director started in March, and the executive director of the Bozeman Symphony says they're beginning to make some headway.
We're looking for a candidate who's an exceptional musician. They'll have a range of talents that will enable them to work with a varied number of individuals in the orchestra, from the most seasoned professional player to our young members who are high school students.
The 6 finalists will be visiting Bozeman for 2 weeks at a time and will begin making guest rehearsal appearances near the end of this month. The 6 finalists include Stefan Sanders, Andrew Crust, Norman Hoyne, Wesley Scholes, Thomas Hauser, and Jana Hims.
We're incredibly fortunate with the applicants that we did receive, and these finalists coming in. Their credentials are absolutely exceptional.
A new music director is expected to be appointed in 2020 by the end of the symphony's concert season. In Bozeman, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
By the way, the first candidate, Stefan Sanders, will be the first of 6 music director finalists to conduct the orchestra and symphonic choir on September 28th and 29th. He, by the way, will join us live next Tuesday right here on Montana This Morning.
And we will get a chance to hear from all
the candidates will be with us live here on Montana This Morning.
And it'll take a little bit of time. There's a couple that are lined up, but there's some that we won't hear from until later in the fall.
That's correct, as they work through their entire orchestra symphonic season.
It'll be exciting to see all the changes.
For
Absolutely. Sure. Now, yesterday morning, the American Legion in Bozeman honored veterans and first responders in a ceremony to remember 9/11. Emergency responders and law enforcement from the area were invited at breakfast and paid tribute on Patriot Day. Now, after breakfast, everyone gathered for a moment of silence at 9:03 a.m., the exact time the South Tower of the World Trade Center was hit. Now, speakers at the ceremony included the Bozeman Police Chief, the Gallatin County Sheriff, and the Bozeman Fire Department Fire Chief.
It's also to memorialize those individuals that gave their life on 9/11. There was a lot of them that were first responders, police department, fire department, medics, EMTs, all of those ran into the building. And we want to honor those by this memorial service who run toward the danger instead of away.
You always say that about first responders. They're running into those burning buildings. Now, yesterday's ceremony was the 9th annual memorial ceremony run by the Bozeman American Legion, and they plan to continue that honor emergency responders on 9/11 for years to come.
I've been to that many times. It's a beautiful ceremony.
They
Thank
do
you for
a
doing it.
great job, yeah.
By the way, as the nation remembered the lives lost in the September 11th, 2001 terror attacks, the President and First Lady spending the 18th anniversary with victims and families of those killed.
Meanwhile, a number of the other memorials also taking place around the country. Camilla Bernal has those details.
In the nation's capital, September 11th ceremonies beginning with a moment of silence. President Donald Trump then heading to the Pentagon, speaking to survivors and the families of those who were killed there in 2001.
This is your anniversary of personal and permanent loss. It's the day that has replayed in your memory 1,000 times over.
The president also thanking first responders and those who risked their lives for our country.
We saw American perseverance in the valiant New York firefighters, police officers, first responders, military, and everyday citizens.
Meanwhile, the vice president in Pennsylvania, honoring those who died on Flight 93.
In their final moments, the men and women of Flight 93 worked together to defend freedom.
And in New York, where the attacks first happened, thousands of names read out loud.
Eugene Clark and my uncle, John Patrick Hart.
Names that will always be honored and remembered by family, loved ones, and the nation. I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
Unbelievable.
Lest we forget.
Absolutely. Yeah. We do have to take a quick break. Thank you for joining us.